Hi everyone, how are you today? This is Bobby at Coppell TV Repair, and today I'm going to show you something that I think I've covered before. I'm sorry, but it's been a while. This is about very shitty boards that we're being sent with expectations that, hey, we're the guys who are the pros, therefore we can fix it. All of our repair service listings, no exceptions, post as a requirement, and I dare say we established that as a standard, at least on eBay. If only because I am pretty certain we were, if not the first, then the second people to start offering repair services on eBay. I don't remember there was anybody before we started that back in the early 2010-11 with first model or second generation plasma TVs, but it doesn't really matter. A lot of our requirements, this is not my first business, a lot of our terms and conditions has been copied more or less successfully, some of them slightly modified. Anyhow, you get the point. We're the greatest, we created the path, you all should be thankful, and so on and so forth. And still, the core point here is all of our repair service listing says we don't want boards that have been tampered with, and yet this is what we received today. I had an acquaintance say they could fix this board. It was the common capacitor failure. This is the work I had returned to me. I did not install it. It looks like shit. Now this customer has a very, very good assessment. This is what was returned. I mean, if somebody puts that in the TV, it will short apparently. It's gonna hit the panel. The solder jobs are terrible. Everything else, I mean, this is beyond terrible. I don't know whether it was that associate. It is not our business, and it cannot possibly be our business to judge who did what and for what reason. All the best intentions, free or for money and everything. The simple fact of the matter remains that when somebody else messes with the board, this is what's visible. They may have done stuff, especially on main boards, that is not so easily visible. If you have been in the business for a very long time, you know you can catch a lot of things, and yet every now and then you can catch something with such a great delay that it may be simply too late to notice. And I'm going to show you a totally different board that I just thought about, that we fixed the common failure, and only upon starting to test we noticed this, which is a very unusual problem. But it totally changes the whole dynamic of the repair. It is considerably our fault. The boards otherwise looked fine. We looked at the normal other places of failure. This is very unusual. It's not so badly messed, but it changes the whole dynamic, because replacing this whole connector is an incredible pain in the butt, because those tracks are extremely tiny, and the pads that are for soldering are also extremely tiny, and they're very, very easy to break. So removing this and then soldering another one on top of it literally doubles the time, the cost, the risks of doing that board. And if we don't catch it on time, then there is a good chance the whole thing will be wasted. And in cases where a board has been tampered, we have reasons to expect that there will be more than one place that could have been, and we may not see everything. And sometimes when you take off the processor, only after you start heating, reflowing a processor, you can find out it is being done before, even though most of the times we can tell up front. Anyhow, long story short is this is the kind of things we have to deal with. This increases the risk of our business, increases the risk of spending time and something blowing up, because somebody who has the skill to do a job like this may have wiped off, scratched off something, just handling the board. One of those resistors here, one SMD has put that board. I mean, the same type of people that has the skill to do something like that, they also have the skill and qualities and tendency to neglect handling the board in a way that can kill it in unpredictable, potentially dangerous, but at the very least very hard to find and unique to find a way that is not worth spending time, etc., etc. So when we see boards that have been tampered with, those are not worth the time and money that is being advertised, plain and simple. And still people keep on seeing a listing on eBay, totally ignoring what it says, and just say, oh, somebody else did that, so I'm not going to use it. You fix it. And I expect us to fix it for flat rate. It doesn't work that way, people. It will never work that way. Not in a fashion that can make both sides happy. And I will decide what I'm going to do with this board and this person. But more often than not, when I see something like that, I instantly write back. And if this was my website, I would do it just because. Now on eBay doesn't care on things like that, and any other middleman wouldn't do. You take the money, you got to do the job. You don't want to do the job, cancel it. Be very polite, make the customer happy, even though they ignore your requirements, listings, and raise the expectations, because that is what a good business does. Sure enough, eBay doesn't do that, but it tells you to. So, hold my fingers crossed. Tell me, what are you guys thinking? What if you are on the customer side? Actually, if you're on the customer side, you probably wouldn't be watching that video. You're too busy making whatever is important to you to see what might be important for the other side that you rely on. But as a vendor, let me know your thoughts. I'm not going to be an influencer. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I don't want to engage people so much in conversation. It is just that a common recurring problem that I'm sure everybody in the repair business does. But there are those of us who do care because we do understand it better than many others. We know the value because we measure it, we time it, we have the stats running. On a side note, I recently started a course for machine learning, statistics, and stuff, and that's such a cool stuff that I will find some use of it in this or other field. But my point is, it cannot work that way. You cannot do a flat rate repair on a board that has been messed, and it doesn't really matter whether it's associate of yours or anybody. As long as the board has been tampered with, you gotta pay more, or not do it at all, or do it yourself. That is all. Wish me luck dealing with this one. Wish the customer luck dealing with me, and have a very good day.